Oh, cool. That worked. All right. Well, hi everybody. It is Joe Jurassic here, otherwise known as Creptile. Coming at you with a different video today than normal. I know this is definitely not my usual content, as the hunt episode 11 is coming. I promise. It's just taking much longer than I originally planned it to, just due to reasons because of being a very lengthy video, the longest one that I've done yet in terms of recording, and some interesting hoops I'm having to work through as a learning editor. So hopefully that'll be out somewhat soon. But in the meantime, I came out here to talk about some very big news. News that's going on in the art community and all over the place. And I know for those of you who watch my content, I know a lot of you aren't in tune with what Arc is doing, specifically in Studio Wildcard and that kind of stuff. But I'm here to cover it anyway, to give some light to it and to hopefully touch on the content as me being a art creator, especially being new and upcoming, with big plans for the future in this game and what it means for me and the community around what I'm doing, and Arc TB96 specifically. So essentially, to give some context, back on April 1st, being our good old April Fool's Day, Studio Wildcard released pretty much a roadmap for their success in the future, or for the success, so to speak, their plans on building for games later down the line. If you didn't know, Arc 2 was supposed to release this year earlier on, and there was also the plans of an aforementioned Unreal Engine 5 update for Arc Survival Evolved, which would be a full free rendition port to give us updated graphics and such going forward. That was supposed to be 100% free. Well, turns out that's not the case. Actually, Arc, being as greedy and crazy as they are behind Studio Wildcard and Snail Games, completely botched the bread. And I want to say, as a player of the game for years since it came out, I had zero faith in Arc 2. A lot of people were hyped for it, excited for it. Between what they did with Arc Survival Evolved and Atlas, this studio has proven time and time again that they are not capable of development and doing it in a good and fashionable way. They're not capable of fixing problems. They are not capable of doing these things. All they do is rush their product and create stuff that is subpar. However, their game was so well received because it was filling a hole for a community that so desperately wanted a survival game, and it was new and fresh on the market, is where they got their success. They don't really have any competition when it comes to this game. And realistically, they rule the market in that department, being the first of its kind to do something of this caliber, which is where they get their resound reputation. But in terms of actual gameplay and keeping up with stuff, the studio is horrific. And I knew from the get-go when they announced it that it wasn't going to be good, which is why, honestly, I started doing my challenge of the game and what I do. I'll get into that in a little bit later. But anyways, so they're doing their stuff there, which is crazy. So now, instead of the original plan, Arc 2 is now delayed until the late 2024, which I still personally, as a player, think that's just a ballpark. I think it could be 2025 or 2026. They are charging a full $50 for the Unreal Engine 5 update for Arc, which will be out in August. On top of that, that payment makes you buy Arc 2 if you want it that early. I think they're calling it Arc Respawned or Reniscended or something like that. And so you pretty much have to buy this to get Arc 2. Or you have to buy this game, which comes with Arc 2 access whenever the game releases, theoretically. And then on top of that, you get, no game aside from an updated Arc Survival Evolved. And the real kicker here is that the OGs playing Arc Survival Evolved, like myself right now, are losing all the official servers. They are no longer being continued. This Arc Reniscended Edition is going to be the new Arc Survival Evolved for the foreseeable future come August. So they are literally taking away thousands of people's hours spent in this game, crafting and developing huge mega bases and raid tribes and all kinds of stuff, which luckily for a player as myself, who mainly only plays in single player and unofficial servers, I'm not really going to be affected by this in that way. But being a part of the community, I feel their pain, and I am so upset at Wildcard for doing this. It's absolutely absurd, and I don't know why my headset's doing this. Anyway, I don't know why that was doing that. Sorry, I don't know why that happened. My headset started beeping. But anyway, I couldn't be more just upset with what they're doing with that. It's so bothering and troublesome with the way they're handling everything. And, you know, we are getting the last creature in Ark Survival Evolved, which was a community vote in June, which will be added to my list of creatures to hunt down. But that's it. Now, for the Ark players out there in the community who are dealing with this bumming out right now, I'm probably going to be one of the sole YouTubers that's offering you not really a counter, but kind of another loop to play through, and that is that obviously we should not support this. I think every other YouTuber is going to say this. We should not support this. We should boycott this or something, because it's insane that they're doing this. It's a horrible practice, especially for such a loyal fan base that has kept up with such a ridiculous game in terms of things being broken for literally ever and since day one. So I'm not going to be supporting it if I don't have to be. Unless they change stuff around, I'm not planning on getting it ever. On top of that as well, I made my challenge for those of you who maybe have found this video and who are new to my channel, who are just getting this because this topic's hot right now, which is also part of the reason I'm posting this, to be completely transparent. If you want to check out my content, I have created a whole new challenge and sub-game pretty much within Ark Survival Evolved as single player. I'm working on releasing a full set of rules videos on how everything works and the stuff that I use for it. So if you're a guy like me who maybe doesn't have a whole lot of stuff going on in servers right now, or maybe has stuff and is looking to change up how the gameplay is going to go because you're about to lose everything that you have and you want to still enjoy Ark without supporting these people, but you can't get official servers, maybe look at what I'm doing. It's different than the regular Ark stuff. It's not a PvE thing. It's not a PvP thing. It's a literal hunt challenge that I've made up against the top creatures in the game. Pretty much treating Ark like a game of Cabela's Big Game Hunter, but a little more spiff and jazz and fun stuff. And of course, I run mine a little bit more like a show, but you know, I'll have stuff all for that for people who want it coming up in future videos. But I wanted to put that out there for a bit of self-advertisement for what I'm doing, because I'm not really doing it just for me. It's more so for the community to have something else to do aside from just play this game the way Ark intended it. And now, since we won't even be able to play it without having official servers, unofficial servers running, the game's in dire straits. And honestly, I couldn't be more upset with Wildcard and more disappointed with how absolutely horrible they did. So just that's my hot take on it, and I wanted to get that out there because I feel like it had to be said. Even though I'm sure many people will be saying the same exact thing with bigger plugin channels, I will be linking down. There's a great guy that gives a really good breakdown analysis on everything in the article. Nooblitz, he's got a much bigger channel than I probably will ever have, but I'll link him down here anyway for people who want to check out more details on the exact sayings and slogans inside of this forum they posted. You know, he does a great job of breaking it down, and I feel like I'd be giving it discredit if I tried to do the same thing he did. So, yeah, that's my hot take, but look forward to episode 11 coming out. Stay strapped, and I'll catch you on the next track and adventure. So.